things that you think are important, because you'll have far more effect than me standing here making these comments, because you're the people who can bring the stories of how it impacts you and what it's meant to you to the legislators inside those doors. Let me close now and introduce T.Delong from Elmore County, who's currently in treatment for breast cancer. Terry has been a client of the Alabama Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program. Terry?
Go up here so we can see Nana.
Good morning. I'm nervous. I'm late, so bear with me. I first became aware of the program in November when I found a lump in my breast. I had not had a mammogram in over 17 years. There was no history of breast cancer in my family, and it was an unnecessary expense as far as I was concerned. I told my daughter-in-law about the lump, and she got on her computer, went straight to the ACS website, and got me a number to call. The reason she looked this up is because at the time I had no job, which meant no insurance, and had lost my husband to a massive heart attack only 2 years before. If I remember, the fear of the lump and the knowledge of my financial situation had already convinced me that I would be dead soon and there was nothing I could do about it. But Sarah made sure I called the number. She asked 1,000 questions, like usual, and everything took off from there. I spoke to the ACS, answered some questions, and was told somebody would get back with me. That was on a Thursday. I got a call on Friday from someone at the Alabama Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program. She told me that I had an appointment for Monday morning for an exam. I explained to her that I had no finances for such an exam, and that's when she explained their program to me. I remember that before she hung up, she thanked me for speaking to her and wished me the best. I went to the exam, and the doctor told me that he needed to have a mammogram done. He told me that it would be paid for by the same service that paid for the exam. The mammogram was scheduled for the next day. They let me see my films, and there it was, an ugly gray thing that I feared had the potential to take my life. 2 days later, I got a call from a new doctor and was told I had an appointment to have a biopsy on December 12th. After the biopsy, the longest and hardest part was waiting for the results. A lot of things go through your mind, bad scenarios, good ones, lots of questions, lots of fear, and a lot of anger. Then the call came December 22nd. I was playing a game on the computer, watching my grandbabies. They were watching Diego. It was Dr. England. He told me my results were back, and then he said the words that changed the course of my life. Unfortunately, Mrs. DeLong, it's cancer. He said more than I had. He said more, but I had already left the conversation mentally. I'm nervous, y'all forgive me. And was becoming angrier by the second. Why me and why now? I can't afford to fight it. What about my family? Then I heard him say that a woman named Hazel Cunningham would be calling me soon. When Miss Hazel called me the next day, it became a good day. She informed me that she was with the Alabama Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program and that she would be filing for my Medicaid so I could receive treatment. This program and others like it made sure that the only fight I had to fight was against cancer. I didn't have to beg anyone to help me. They just seemed to show up, and I'm very grateful for that. On January 28th, I had a partial mastectomy and was told that the doctors removed all the cancer. I'm currently in chemo until May, and then my radiation starts. These programs and programs like them are an invaluable resource to women who find themselves in this type of situation. And from what I've read and heard, there are very, very many. Early screenings can save a lot of lives. Fundings for these programs must be a priority. I strongly urge our elected officials to support any and all funding for these programs, because unfortunately my story is not the exception but the rule. Thank you.
Yay!